Because DK, he's been a big hero these past, well, I guess the past year and a half, whatever it's been. He likes getting away with a lot of farm. Yes, he's tanky. Yes, he can kind of sit there and hit creeps. But if he's actually pressured, and they bring, you know, tiny rotations, ET Beastmasters up in his face, Dragon Knight could potentially be punished.
Yeah.
See what happens.
The thing about DK is that he has an inbuilt battlefield, right? Which is why the hero is so strong now, where PA doesn't. So if PA has a weak lane, like it's not so easy for him to catch up compared to like the DK who just goes jungle. Okay, we have a smoke coming out here.
Stormstormer breaks it on the Beastmaster and Tiny.
So yeah, it is Saish playing EC4. I really like that. I think it's cool when players bring something new to the, like some of their synergy, like, how do you say? Some of their signature heroes into the, into the meta out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, it's been a real fun qualifier for that. Again, like Lifestealer PA, Wraith King popping up. You've seen us Bounty Hunter, Zayat's now the ET. We're always having these discussions about Dota being cyclical, right? We have something appear, something's discovered, disappears for a little bit, comes back around. You're like, oh god, yeah, this is pretty good. Just heroes get forgotten for a second. Our Bounty Rune's going to go 2 for 2. Got the juice PA. We're going to go through that twin gate up top. What was the PA doing up there? Just scouting out?
He was just aware of the rune and then went for the gate.
And some deep wards here as well. AVULUS get one of their Dire Observers down in that bottom jungle near one of the camps. There's a Radiant Observer will just offset from that as well. Is that an indication that Eki wants to be dragging waves, or?
The ops in the jungle?
The ops in the jungle, yeah.
That's a good question.
Like often we'd see this when you have, like, you've got a Doom on your team and they'd want to go eat a certain creep, or you've got a Chen or something like that.
I think it's maybe to scout out the stacks. If there are some stacks by Phoenix, maybe you can run over and clear them as bad. Could also be a little bit of a just pre-rune fight situation where you just place a casual ward. There might not be too much like plans going into this ward. Might just be to protect the bounty runes early on.
It might be one of those things we discover a secret reason for it later, or nothing happens with it at all. We're pretty quiet down in this bottom lane. PA and this Pango, both reasonably happy hitting creeps. Batrider and Phoenix, you know, both decent trading heroes, but not really playing against each other. Both sitting behind their cores in lane. And yeah, my favorite. Tiny versus Earth Spirit. Tiny 10 and 3. I'm getting a bit of an early lead against Earth Spirit. But once these levels come up, things start to even out a bit more. Important to control runes, though. These two heroes love their bottle, their refills, their active runes. So nice to see Chen kind of moving his Satyr creep to guard the top one, which Stormstormer can go and get. And Chen's also zoning out this ET and Beastmaster, forcing them to pull the wave all the way back, giving Dragon Knight complete free farm in safety up at top.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, Sayak really likes to pull the wave back behind the tower. I think it's a player preference thing. I think you could easily just play the lane straight up as well. But this has made Chen level 1 still, which is a pretty big deal. Like if his levels get slowed down, it can be very annoying to play Chen. And he's just gonna hit level 3 here, and he's going for the axe build, right? Can't really skill Boar against Chen.
Oh, level 2 axes. So I've got level 3 Beast, level 2 ET. Soneko could get run at here. PMA pretty low on the resources, though. Just going to drag this wave, pull it into large camp, keep farming along. And no one really suffering in this laning stage. Kind of an honourable start to this game. I've seen so many cheesy things happen previously with lane dragging, cheeky first bloods.
It's very even right now. It's like kind of nice that there aren't these big mistakes that early on that determine the lane in such a bad fashion. Like when we were watching the games earlier on, that it felt like the games were over at minute 4 or 5 just because there were too many mistakes. Like people dying, TPing and dying again, things like that. But, nobody's making any big mistakes yet.
No, we've been very clean. That's something that we definitely look to the future for. AVULUS, notoriously a great team at bringing numbers. They never have these kind of scrappy, filtering in one-by-one fights. They're just 5 heroes or nothing, from what I've seen. Definitely curious to see if NAVI Jr. are able to really bring it when AVULUS group up. Now, you've got this Supernova, you've got this Roar, a decent amount of team fight if you're in position to use it.
Yeah,
Still early days.
I think the draft's also very even this game. Like some of the earlier games were quite one-sided. So we might have a nice close game ahead of ourselves here. Actually, we see PA going through the gate. Top lane, so they're gonna bringing 4 heroes, but AVULUS kind of know.
It's fine, nice. Still
hero, right?
dropping so quickly though. Under all this damage, the blood grenade's thrown, he's gone, Zayat's traded out, and Stormstormer rotated in. The numbers are brought, PA drops by this tier 1 tower. Absolute madness up in this top lane as PMA tries to escape, but Stormstormer's still here to chase him down. I was saying AVULUS bring the numbers, and I thought I was talking about minute 10, but this is minute 5. They're 5v4ing mid lane.
I mean, just very heads up by AVULUS, right? Like, it's so easy to get caught off in this situation. You lose your DK potentially, you lose your Chen as well. Because who's gonna expect that at 5-minute rotation with the PA? It's not something that a lot of teams do. But they were already on top of it, and Ursprit had already rotated over before the PA even came. So, very, very sick rotation by Stormstormer there.
I mean, the PA now, alongside Zayat's trying to kill his Batrider off. Eki gets down to low ground, PA follows him. But they've now got Phoenix and ET backing up the PA, so it's NAVI Jr.'s turn to bring the additional +1 hero to win the fight. Crazy response. Like before as you were saying, PA's making the gate move, Stormstormer was already in top jungle rotating, by the way. He was like on his way.
They completely read this move before it even happened.
Tiny did get a fair amount of free time farming. Top of the last hits, feeling good. And this is where laning stage is fully broken down now. Everyone's rotating. Seneko and Eki are chasing Zayats. And his Elder Titan's pretty speedy with the boots and the windlace. Actually tucks himself in the fog for long enough that they've lost track of him. Minute 7 coming up though.
Yeah, look at Stormstormer.
Yeah. Sneaky,
Seems like they're sniffing it out though. They had the ward.
3 heroes brought across. Stormstormer magnetizes straight into Zayat. They do get the Wisdom Rune on the Tiny, but he's going to roll across to kill the ET. PMA and Niku. Stormstormer chased down. TP cancelled to get the kill. A cheeky attempt to take that Wisdom Rune. Again, good reaction from NAVI Jr. Definitely woken up by the early action from AVULUS.
It feels like it's kind of worth it for Stormstormer, right? Bringing that many heroes over there. I'm sure he doesn't feel so bad. I guess he used the TP. That kind of sucks. When he's gonna spawn, you'll have to walk out. But
yeah,
still a very good move. Keeping NAVI Jr. on their toes.
It also kind of started with Zibe zoning the Phoenix away because Riddies was making a move for the Wisdom Rune on the right-hand side. And Dar Observer Ward sees that bottom Bounty Rune, which PA and ET are both kind of stepping towards. It's wild how like this key moment in the game already happened before we even get Pango level 6. And there's no Rolling Thunder, there's no Lasso or anything like that. No Supernova, of course, as the Phoenix dies level 4 down in the river. Niku did get the rune though. Illusion bottled up as he shows himself mid lane. Suddenly surrounded though. Tiny tosses the Batrider back, and it looks like AVULUS respecting the ET with that Spirit Stomp, keeping them at bay.
Yeah, Tiny is also so incredibly hard to bring down at this phase of the game. So much HP and armor. So, but Tiny has a really good game. Our 15-year-old, supposedly 15-year-old mid laner.
According to Wikipedia.
Okay. I just don't want to say anything based on the
On me
chat
making it
or
up.
whatever it was. Yeah.
Well, Wikipedia says he's 2009, 15 years old from Ukraine. That's what I'm going to choose to believe. And my God, he's performed already. Absolute miracles.
Sure. There's a lot of stacks for him right now.
And Beastmaster starts clearing the large camp near the Ancients, but now that gets scanned. Tiny farming the creep camps down in the big jungle. I guess that observer wood earlier on that we were talking about, potentially we're going to scout that move out. But for now, it's Beastmaster evacuating, coming back under a dire ward. AVULUS still smoked by this big stack of ancient camps. They would love a kill and then to steal. I'll just go
Very
for the
nice
ancient...
by Beast not getting caught by this. It's actually very big. They can contest this. You get a lot of the stack, but also a lot of heroes.
Storm are just going to zip across and roll onto Zayats. This is one of the big strengths of having a Chen on your team, right? You've got these summons, you swarm an area, you 5-man move, and it's not just having 5 heroes with ultis. You've got all these little summons to scout and block and give auras too. Niku is being caught by this sweep across the map. Storm and Zibbe make their way quickly from that high ground area by the Ancients down to bottom rune spot. Killing the Tiny is big, but finding this follow through, go on the Phoenix, force him to dive away. You're now pushing with a catapult wave onto tier 1. It's just a very nice sequence of events this kind of past 2 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. AVULUS are looking so strong in this game. I think it's kind of a problem for NAVI Junior that every move is kind of made by AVULUS. It feels like they keep reacting to the Wisdom Rune, to the stack. They're always like one step behind.
Yeah, it's AVULUS kind of using this Earth Spirit role, not needing Blink, not needing any real big key item, whereas Niku's Tiny, 600 gold away, would love to have the same freedom to jump and catch people. That's just the big difference in the heroes right now. Tiny a bit better at farming, but Earth Spirit better at going.
I think you also see the difference in the supports right now. Like ET and Phoenix have a really hard time getting any net worth, any levels, whereas AVULUS support can just farm jungle, right? You see the Chen farming jungle right now. You see Batrider farming jungle. So, like, yeah, this is definitely a big factor to why it feels hard for NAVI Junior to play as of this moment.
Like in the downtime, what are they doing? They're kind of just...
Yeah, Phoenix is trying to farm a camp now. I mean, he just got his level 5 earlier on the mid lane. This is where he can actually start to farm jungle. But he cannot, right? And when you're a bit behind, it does snowball quite a bit. As you see the Chen and the Batrider's net worth as well. It's pretty much their whole lead is on those 2 heroes.
Some pretty big items as well. 900 for Blink on Eki. Also, kind of cool to see Suneko go back for this Arcane's mech. And I'm curious for your thoughts on that, because Chen recently I've seen a lot of naked drums rush. Like no boots, no arcanes, no mech, drums into Solar Crest. What's the idea of going mech this time instead of those? Kind of more common items.
Yeah, I think this game is just nice to get pipe and mech. Because if you look at the Radiant draft, there's a lot of random AoE damage. So if Chen can get a fast mech, he can neglect a lot of the damage from Phoenix, for example, from ET.
Right.
They can win the fight from there.
Beastmaster up at top, way out in the open, trying to finish off his helm. Actually, he had it finished off. He was waiting for it to be delivered so he could go and grab a neutral creep.
Actually, Beastmaster's game is kind of ruined, right? Going helm first and then not having it at 13 minutes. Losing your tower and just having your stack stolen is actually a disaster for him. His net worth is not as bad as it could be, but this item build does not really scale the same way an axe would, for example.
So when I saw the arcanes, I thought he was going axe. Because that's the normal progression, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not sure how good Axe is anymore. It has been nerfed several times. But I thought so too. Considering when you max your axes, you usually want to go Aghanim's, right? Play on stacks.
Well, a Raw here defensively. Beastmaster trying to save his own skin, but he's been lassoed, rolled upon, and killed by Smiling Knight. They've now unlocked the Dragon Knight. Armlet, Mask of Madness, Treads. He's ready from this top net worth position to kill heroes and run at towers.
Yeah,
And this game has gone from being like super even to now being 6k lead for AVULUS and like, honestly like feeling kind of over unless some miraculous fight happens for NAVI Jr.
I really feel like this 5-minute rotation by PA, like when that type of move fails, it's just so much worse than if you would have just stayed in your lane and done nothing.
Niku.
Because I almost feel like they played a bit too fast.
Niku thought he was being smart, and maybe he was being smart, getting bonked to low ground, bonked back to high ground, hurricaned across, but this supernova saved from Riddies. Well positioned, gives him the space to get the Tiny out of there. A lot of rolling happening. Earth Spirit and Pango rolling around, and then Niku stood on the the side of the cliff, got bonked down, and I thought, oh god, he's screwed. And then he stood there still to get bonked back up under the egg and was protected by it. Clever boy.
See again how tanky this Tiny is. He's tanking every single spell of AVULUS and just walks out.
Oh, what a hero.
PA does have his battle view and it's pretty high level as well. So that's something positive to say for AVULUS. Like they're not as far behind as 7k might suggest, because a lot of the net worth is on Bat rather than Chen. And the supports of NAVI Jr. are pretty much based on their spells, right? They don't need net worth to be effective the same way. But I really feel like the 5-minute move by NAVI Jr. was very optimistic.
Oh, that's nasty. They find the Tiny. It was so close. I was thinking, oh, they're going to lose the Phoenix. It's fine. Riddies was nearly there to tank the gank. They find the Tiny. So Niku dead for 30. And a Tiny who buys a blink and then nearly dies mid, runs away, and then dies bottom jungle. That's 2-3 minutes having blink and not using it feels so bad.
Yeah, I mean, what we talked about with supports being behind, being lower level, it also translates a little bit into the Tiny's game being worse, right? The Tiny wants his other heroes to be effective, so that when he has his blink dagger and his spells ready, there's follow-up on them, right?
Yeah.
But if Beastmaster is trying to catch up, they're always going to be outnumbered.
And if Tiny wants to go for these kills, he wants to be playing, like, they're drawing on the map now, right? Playing to top jungle, playing to these top towers. There's a tier 1 still up there. Guarded by Chen creeps, apparently, just a full army in front of it. But like, Tiny wants to go and hunt people, find the kills. But yeah, you're right. Beastmaster and PA kind of in catch-up farming mode. They're playing tucked behind. Farming jungle camps in the fog. Well, ET will join the Tiny now to go looking for somebody. Not going to find anyone.
Nicely done by... Got the juice there, dodging that gank. Kinda smelled it.
BKB Dragon Knight. Here we go. The big boy. Earth Spirit. Gonna invade enemy ancients for a second. Eki dead. In the back to Niku, but Zibe is here with a rolling thunder. Pushes the Tiny back down to low ground, but Earth Spirit is there with a roll, and the Centaur stomps to connect with the stuns. Takes a little bit, but the Tiny dies.
This is still good sequences, I would say, though, from NAVI Jr., right? Beastmaster got to farm all the way bottom out. PA got to farm Ancient several times there. They traded. Yeah, sure, Tiny dies, but it's still this kind of space you need. You need to delay the game on NAVI Jr., get more items and levels before you can take a fight.
Yeah, like the golden XP swing there from the fight recap. There's not much of a difference between the Bat and the Tiny in that moment. So when you add all the things you're saying, it goes from even to kind of being advantage Navi.
Yeah, look, Beastmaster, he's actually catching up to the point where he's gonna surpass the Earth Spirit and the Pangolier if this continues, right?
Storm's in again, though. That TP from Got the Juice. Very nicely done.
Nicely done, and Beastmaster did not TP there. He's refusing. And this is the right decision for sure. Look at all the space he's taking advantage of here. Almost taking down the tier 1 bottom.
And AVULUS really trying to get someone.
Oh my. So strong, DK.
My god. Poor Phoenix. How much armor does Phoenix? 3 armor on Phoenix? Doesn't help against the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Beastmaster staying bot, gets them a tower, gets them a ton of farm, kind of draws the attention down there as well, so now PA can take that space back at the Ancients. It's still AVULUS in the driving seat. They're still the ones, probing, looking for any information so they can strike and get a core kill. But Navi Jr. playing keep away really nicely. The outskirts of the map being utilized very nicely. This Tiny just sacrificing himself to... that understanding of go... Like, he drew the lines himself, right? There's Niku drawing these lines on the map, saying, I need to go over here, I need to play there, I want to go hunt and kill and make some noise. I'm a loud hero. I'm Tiny. Let me go make some noise, then the rest of you can kind of catch up. Get to a position where we can fight back with a good roar and supernova. This, not such a good position. Low ground outside of your base. The ET gets caught, dragged back in. And AVULUS still the ones that are able to set up this forward movement going towards objectives.
Yeah, I mean, again, they had this nice little moment where Beastmaster was pushing bot, but now they just got back into their own base again. It's kind of hard when you're stuck on your side of the map. Like, you need to actually get out on the map and start cutting waves and start dragging this big Earthsplit TP back.
Tiny? Niku thinking maybe he can kill some people after Tormentor or steal it, but he's baited the Dragon Knight in to a roar and a supernova. The toss around, Smiling Knight, BKB's up, Armor toggles as well. DK stays alive, Zibane rolling around in the back. And he's going to cause some chaos here as the PA and Phoenix try to turn. Looking at this Pangolier as a juicy target to kill. Still damage coming out of him, and Stormstormer rolling in with a big Magnetize. Phantom Assassin in serious trouble here. Got the juice, will try and jump away as they turn with a Tiny. Big damage onto Shen, and this Earth Spirit, Niku cleaving into them. PA and Phoenix for 3 on AVULUS. Dragonite and Earth Spirit, the ones turning tail to run and hide. And it feels like Navi Jr. still, maybe? I'm thinking about continuing forward, but they run out of gas.
Yeah, I mean, PA barely had his BKB ready there. If he had the BKB when he was at first jumping the DK might have died there. That would have been huge, right? Then they could have chased everybody else down as well. But the BKB was coming on courier, so just barely ready. But this was pretty big for Navi Jr. defending the Tormentor there. I think if you just give up the Tormentor for free there, it's gonna snowball into a lot more, right? And they're just gonna get their own Tormentor, Roshan, or just continue taking all your towers. So
right, so then it's not just them getting something, it's like AVULUS getting and taking away from you.
yeah.
You need every little thing you can as Navi Jr. That's another breath of fresh air for Navi, though. Fight outside your base, rebuff AVULUS, keep this net worth lead around 10k. It's not spiraling out of control. More time for the PA to get even more items. And we're still looking at these Navi supports as being pretty decent scaling into mid to late game, right?
For sure, their heroes scale incredibly well, and they will get the net worth from if they win team fights, right? They're not really gonna farm the same way Chen and Bat will, but if they start winning a couple of team fights, you might see the ET and get his Aghanims, Phoenix get his Solar Crest, maybe a Shivas and stuff like this. Then the game could be really hard for AVULUS. So I would say that Radiant's draft scales a bit better. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think it's still pretty even because you also have some really scary heroes on AVULUS.
I just love bringing it up because that question used to be so easy to answer. Like even
there's so many factors.
Even like 3 or 4 years ago, now we've got talents and innates and facets and this and that. Neutral items, it's so hard to judge some RNG or some little aspect of the game.
It feels a little bit like if Radiant gets BKBs, it's easier for them to take a fight because they just need to press egg one button, right? That does everything for you. Elder Titan Ultimate does everything for you. Like the roar is, Pangolier has to hit roll, stun again. You have to get the lasso target or Bat Rider correctly. You have to roll in and hit your rolls. So in that way,
Yeah.
I think the execution is easier for Radiant. And Radiant and BKB is also really strong against the Dire lineup.
Yeah, all that magic damage from Earth
loses
Spirit.
Pangolier Earth Spirit loses its effect quite a bit against BKB, right? So in that way, I guess that's why I'm thinking that Radiant scales better. But it's definitely not obvious that
No.
it's one-sided for sure.
Previously, it was like they've got Anti-Mage or they've got Spectre. GG. Like, late game is theirs. No, it's not so clear cut. But yeah, I think it's a good point as well, thinking about Navi Junior, the way they want to fight is like taking an area, right? Their zone control, very good. Whereas AVULUS more chasing with the heroes they've got, much better at like individual pick-off into a +1, into a +1, and snowballing a fight. Whereas Navi Junior kind of want a head-on 5v5 clash to happen. That's where Bat Rider comes into play. Kind of poking, the drag back, the isolation always helps out. Oh, we've got heroes like ET, Beastmaster. We've got Phoenix, careful, readies. Well, he gets the shard, that's fine. It's worth it. A little bit of pain. Never hurt anybody. He's fine.
I feel like that happens a bit too often in pro games.
Just get so excited, Misery. It's shard time. But I hear a lasso. Oh, it's Zayas. I don't know, there's something very satisfying about playing Phoenix or Undying or like one of these shard supports. And it's just 1,400 gold for free. Just get it and give it to me.
For sure.
Smiling Knight clearing all the enemy ancients before AVULUS set up a bit of base camp in front of the Radiant base.
These two deaths were pretty big, right? They actually gave up a lot of map control for AVULUS for free. I think had both supporters been alive, it would have been a lot more dangerous to just take the map like this. So that's 2 towers down. Obviously there's an Aegis on a DK. And here we have a smoke. So they got the BKB PA, BKB Tiny. Stormstormer is the perfect target actually.
Yeah, thinks he can get away with clearing that wave. Absolutely not. Navi Junior come and shut the door on him. And AVULUS now kind of spread out wide, looking to play these side lanes as much as possible. I'm just going to have to give up on this tier 1 mid. Yeah, I felt like AVULUS had kind of cornered Navi Junior there, but they get to break out of their base. Now they can start dewarding. This is that glimpse of light at the end of the tunnel. You can see a little bit of hope.
Yeah,
That net worth lead hasn't really shifted too much. It's been like 10 or 12k for a while.
I think you can sense on Navi that they don't feel like they're out of this game yet, right? They're still playing they're still looking to do the correct moves. Like the smoke was really good, really on point. They're not overextending right now, like thinking we need to get more out of this. Oh, they just keep playing. One thing I haven't seen before is the power treads on Bat. Is that normal on 4?
I've not seen that either.
I guess it kind of makes sense with the shot.
I guess.
Because you also have the innate. Is that a thing?
Is it good?
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I feel like I've seen Brown Boots Bat a lot.
Yeah, Triangles, right?
And then into Triangles later.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Sometimes Arcanes if you really need it. But yeah, Treads is new on me. Either way, AVULUS going to try and use the remaining minute and a half of Aegis to push high ground. And this is kind of the situation you were talking about with the Radiant supports dying. And didn't give them a chance to defend objectives like this ET Spirit just on its own is able to say, hey, we've got this big AoE spell. If it walks through you, you've got to be careful where we're setting up. So AVULUS don't go pushing too far forward. And knowing they can kind of wait for the next Roche cycle, they've got a firm grasp on this map right now, and it's Navi Junior who have to come out and make plays.
Yeah, the later the game goes and the more net worth hero get effectively, the less the 15k gold lead will matter, right? That's something to consider.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Stormer doesn't want to get burnt twice.
Yeah. I mean, they don't know where anyone is right now. They gave up the map there to just farm. Because the Aegis is also running out, so they have to be a bit more careful. DK deals a lot of damage right now, but he's actually not that tanky against the PA. So both carriers can kill each other.
Especially if they're able to go on him like they did last time. With a Roar, Avalanche Toss, PA follow-up damage, DK could die before he even gets his BKB off, realistically.
Yeah. He can die in just a roar, even through BKB, right? The PA level 3 coup de grace. And the Nemesis curse as well. So
yeah, she offers a lot of damage. Kind of cool here from Seneko. Sweeps his creeps across from top jungle into top lane. So he kind of gives information there by pushing that wave, scouting things out. The Navi Jr. evacuated back to their base. So AVULUS now filling a bit of space by the Radiant Ancients. Navi Jr. show the tiny mid, who gets immediately lassoed up by Eki. A roll from Stormer and the follow-through damage out of this Dragon Knight. Finds the Tiny as they dive in with PA. A roar comes far too late. The Phoenix evaporated to Smiling Knight, who just splashed him to death with his dragon form. And now they're chasing the Phantom Assassin. Blinks to the low ground, gets onto Eki, but there's a stun from Smiling Knight. 3 heroes dead, 2 with buyback, but AVULUS, they sense blood in the water. They are diving tier 4s. They get a 4th kill. And the tier 3s cracked wide open now. This glyph going to end in a second. Zibe taking a decent chunk of damage there, but they're going to find a lane of Barrett.
I was just about to say, Tiny doesn't look like the ideal target for him to jump, because everyone on Navi were ready to take the fight, but DK just does so much damage, and this splash just killed the Phoenix. You know, everybody just dies around this splash damage.
Phoenix didn't even get to egg. He dived and got splashed.
Yeah, he just died in the air.
Poor guy. Well, 1 lane doesn't turn into 2.
True. But in that fight, you also see the power of Bat Rider, right? When you're in this type of situation where you're ahead like this and you control the map. Like, you need to be so aware of these lassos.
Especially with those power treads.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna check if he does that on average or what.
Yeah. Might be
Or if this was more like we're snowballing, I'm gonna buy treads this game.
I got shard early. I've got brown boots.
Yeah, you know, it could be something like that.
That's funny, whichever way you look at it. He's got BKB as well. A fresh one, 9 seconds. Lasso ready, and he sees the Phoenix. Straight onto Riddy's, dead without casting a single spell. But he does have buyback. And this might be your last defense as Navi Jr. Tiny TP's top to the left-hand side of this set of barracks. He was scouted out, though, pinged by Zibe. A jump, the toss back, Niku BKBs, the Dragon Knight. He's BKB 2, and they're trying to focus him with the PA, but I don't think they've got enough damage. Smiling Knight able to stand his ground. Supernova Sunray looks fancy, but does very little in the end. They lose their Niku Tiny. Zibe dives in behind tier 4s, and GG is already called. AVULUS, 31 minutes to dispatch with Navi Jr. here in game 1. There were moments of glory, cool little moves like that PA minute 5 twin gate play, but it seemed like AVULUS were ready for everything. Everything had a response. Everything seemed very clean.
Whatever he wants, right? He can kill any hero.
A Blightstone and a Dream. That's all he needs.
I guess that's how he's gonna play it, and now I'm gonna watch him max Flame Guard. But I think I think you max Sleight of Fist, and at least at some point early game, right? So you have this ability to set up play in the team.
I wanted your Timber mid. Why dodge? Yeah, we should come back to that. The Earth Spirit going mid. Timbersaw switches to the off lane, so they did that flexible bait and switch from start to the end of the draft. A nice little swap around. A bit of a joke from Navi saying Eki's not playing bat. Usually he's playing bat, isn't he? Not this time around. But yeah, thinking about how we're going to set up the map and team fights later on in the game, Lycan and Ember Spirit are kind of the eyes of AVULUS here, right? They're the ones who scout, they see what's happening, they get into the back lines, open things up for the DK to do all the damage. Whereas Navi, Earth Spirit and Timbersaw, they're the brawling boys. Navi have got to get them out of the laning stage reasonably unscathed so they can actually step up and start fights off to give Undying and Lion a bit of protection.
I think the wolf scouted the smoke. So they should be aware that Dire are smoked right now.
30 seconds to battle.
Now looking at it, I kind of like, I think the Lycan is really strong this game. He kind of eats these heroes for a long time. Does fall off like we talked about, but there's going to be a lot of pressure coming in from Sipe.
Yeah, especially if PA gets... Is Phoenix? Yeah, fine. Especially if PA gets booted into jungle like reasonably early, right? If you have this top lane of Shadow Shaman, Lycan, Eki is going to be punching this Undying over and over again. Lycan's going to get into his helm. PA and Undying could get pressured once you get that helm up.
But let's say if Ember Spirit, for example, gets level 7 or even level 6, right, and has a remnant, and he starts running top, it's gonna be very annoying for them to deal with this type of pressure, right? Because Earth Spirit, the cool thing about Ember Spirit, he doesn't need to commit to the fight. He can just kind of run there and starts poking.
It's like Ember Spirit gives you an IOU, and it's like I'll promise to be there. Doesn't have to follow through or fulfill the promise, but Earth Spirit does. Once he's committed to a move, he's in. Seneko down bottom, already losing a fair amount of HP. Trying to get these sentries down, reclaim access to his camps. Dire sentry stands though. As Zayats comes out the victor in a small trade. PMA Timbersaw against a Smiling Knight Dragon Knight. And Timbersaw still played the kind of whisper way, right? The big nuke damage. We're not really seeing the tanky or a Timbersaw come back, right? This is still going to be like Kaya Blink kind of deal.
It's a good question. I would assume so. I think you definitely want to be dealing damage on this hero. I think Aghanims is also an item that people like to buy.
Oh, Seneko. A blood grenade and the damage from Lion.
Oh my god, he fucked up though.
Who did?
He used the salve and it got cancelled by the blood grenade last tick.
Seneko. Oh dear, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so that's pretty grim for him. He doesn't even have any regen on his courier, so...
Dragon Knight, you want to share some of your dragon blood? Phoenix going to turn into a vampire?
Nah, he's just gonna... The carrier is giving tangos to the Phoenix now.
What a world we live in. Pretty good for the DK to start off, 10 and 3. Amber also sitting pretty up there. Phantom Assassin top though, 14-3 for Got the Juice. Zibe, 7 last hits, trying to send the Wolves forward, but going to bring them back. So far, so good for Riddies as well, as he gets a large camp pull with a full wave sent in. It feels like this is a pretty common situation for summons offlaners. And we talked about the waiting game for Tiny to get to Blink. We have an earlier waiting game for Lycan and Beastmaster getting this Helm up and running. What is it, just like 4 branches, Magic Stick, and then rushing Helm as Lycan.
Yeah. Lycan usually comes online faster than Beast, right? Because Lycan doesn't need to buy any items, really. Especially in this lane. Like 1 stick is actually enough to sustain your mana. Usually your skill points on Feral Impulse, giving you a couple, some HP regen. When you get the Helm, you're good to just sustain.
Yeah. Yeah, then Eki can even think about moving out.
Mid lane, that was really cool. The kick.
Radiant structures are
rolling and kicking under tower.
Yeah.
And Stormstormer stepping up
Ecky's
here with
so.
Ecky arriving. Yeah, look at him pinging behind this Earth Spirit. It looks like Niku has felt this one coming. Drops the what chat wheel line. Even gets a rotation coming in from the Lion as the Shadow Shaman hexes his own Ember Spirit, sowing chaos and discord around this 4-minute rune spawn timer. There's even a wolf coming across here onto Zayats. Where's he come from?
The one wolf. What a Giga Chat move, actually, basically.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was that? Like, where's my Shadow Shaman? Oh, you're ganking mid? Yeah, I'll send some help. It's a care package from top lane. You miss? Yeah, did you miss home? Homesick Shadow Shaman comes back to top lane. And Niku 17-5, starting to drop behind this Ember Spirit now, in fact. And what build is Stormstormer going for? Is he maxing Flame Guard?
I think 2 points. Let's see.
That's enough for now.
The question is what he does at level 7, 8, right?
That's true, yeah.
I would suggest. I mean, I would think you want a point in Searing Chains this game. It's just too good against Earthspirit and Timbersaw and PA.
Yeah.
They can't get out, so.
Yeah, ult at 6, chains at 7. Well, Phoenix dives away from danger down bottom. Ecky's going to shackle up this Undying top. Kind of nice he's got this shackles into wolves to continue the damage output, but got the juice, protecting his position 5 here. Phantom Assassin runs across with a tombstone behind her. They should have the kill on Ecky pretty easily. Kill the sheep, and Riddies draws first blood. Quite a late one. 5 minutes 30.
Yeah. Pia has a very good game this time around. If you can keep this up, it should be a very good sign for NAVI Junior. Like, the faster the battlefield this game, the better, right? I mean, obviously, it's always like that, but especially against Lycan.
Especially against DK. You want to try and keep pace.
Yeah, against DK too. But the Lycan timing is based on summons, right? And running in and doing a lot of damage, but if the PA can actually crit them down fast, then timing might be ruined a bit.
Another bounty rune for Ecky. Basically playing in that top jungle non-stop.
Smoked on top here.
Was
I'll
it?
try on CB.
Yeah, 30 seconds to Wisdom Rune. He spots them coming. They
I
place
feel
a
like that
ward.
was wasn't that a bit lazy going in on from that direction with the Undying first?
I should have wrapped around further to the right, coming with a Lion. But now instead it's Stormstormer who gets to respond. And you're looking at this attempted kill into Wisdom Rune steal. It's a nice attempt from Navi Jr. You know, good foresight to try it, but yeah, maybe a bit sloppy there. Gives away a couple of deaths.
Seems a bit optimistic for sure. The Lycan just scouted you out and then you just run all the way through for the Wisdom. I think that you made it a bit too easy for AVULUS there, and then they get to pick up 2 Wisdom Runes. Not what you want to see as a Lion. Minute 7.5 without boots. Level 3. It's really rough. Same for Undying, right? They're both level 3.5.
God, you're right.
It's grim. Sure, Pia has a good game, but what are you doing as Undying and Lion in this game if you're not gonna get your levels? We even talked about the Ember Spirit being so strong in this game against the supports, right? That just gets amplified if they're low level.
I super suffer. I was honestly, you know, gonna say it's not that bad. Undying dying to Ancients. He respawns, come back, play the lane. It's a good roll from Niku.
Okay.
Catching up onto Sineko's Phoenix, trying to dive away, but the Magnetize will always tick him over. Stormstormer and Ecky. The little sheep getting run at by Riddies. We do lose Zayats though, as this Dragonite now arrives on the scene of the crime. Another roll connects from Niku, well lined up. And Ecky dies back towards mid to that Tombstone Undying. Now, Smiling Knight, Dragon Form has ended. Niku's still applying this Magnetize. No Boulder remaining though. So a little bit awkward to keep going on. As Dragon Knight still very tanky with a Phoenix behind him.
Oi!
Gonna back him up, but he
So
can't get
nice.
out. The kick into Whirling Death gets the takedown.
That was,
Great sequence of play.
And Nico was absolutely owning that whole fight there.
Top tower is under
Killing everyone and getting your support levels is so important.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Very nicely done.
And now he's going back in again with a PA alongside of it.
He's hitting every spell. I mean, not the roll, but the real football player there.
Ah, Messi is kicking it around,
Yeah.
landing it beautifully. Yeah, they think there's vision there. Snake was like they saw me somehow, but it's a little further away than that. Got the PA involved, get some kills, pressuring the enemy tier 1. But while this is happening, you know, great moves by Navi Jr. Don't get me wrong. Playing aggressively through Niku, strongest hero on the map for them right now, looked good, playing mid down to bot, but they've kind of let this Lycan get there.
Yeah.
He's got Helm, he killed
Sure.
tier 1.
Yeah, a lot of space for the Lycan. He's gonna take 2 towers off of this. PA does get to go bottom and take bot tower, which is also huge.
Yeah, that's nice. Forgot the juice.
Tower has fallen.
Not really going to stop the Dragon Knight farming ever. But at least Navi Jr. have got some stacks to fall back on. As long as they don't get contested, because I can see Seneko thinking about stepping up there. Oh, Zippe heading back up top, can sweep through the jungle. Still has shapeshift if they want to try and connect back into mid. Eki and Stormstorm have a lot of control, a decent amount of gap close, and a regen rune bottled. I mean, Stormstorm is pretty ready to fight if anything comes his way.
For sure. We see a little bit the same problem that Navi Jr. ended up having first game, is that they're kind of stuck in areas where there's not much farm to get. Like, they're all stuck around their tier 2 at 10 minutes, and AVULUS controls so much of the map.
They've got to defend these Ancients in this high ground here. Try and push Stormstormer back. The Hex, though, that'll move to save the Ember Spirit. Gets him out of danger. Breaks free of Niku's initiation. In Navi Jr., they rebuff AVULUS. They kick them out of the Ancients. But you've sent 5 heroes to do that, while Dragon Knight, no, he's free farm. Splashing through camps. Probably gonna know there's wards there now. Has got the juice. Jumps on here. Jumps on his neutral creeps. Then you got Stormstormer clearing mid, Lycan clearing top. Like you say, right, this map gets a little smaller every time Navi Jr. are forced to react to these AVULUS moves. Like, everyone on Navi, like, everyone's having a good game this game, it feels like.
Yeah, all
But it's
the
like the-
cores at least, yeah. I mean, Lycan is getting really close to the Helmet Overload, which is this hero's, you know, most insane timing.
I just can't help shake that feeling that AVULUS have got this bit of magic. This ability to force the issue and force Navi Jr. to make mistakes. Like when a Shadow Shaman and a Phoenix are doing this, you know, they're stepping up into enemy high ground, killing your Undying, while the other heroes kind of just watch.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me, you know?
I mean, again, they have the easier execution for now, at least with the Ember chains and the. Just feels like it's much easier for AVULUS to kill Navi Junior's heroes than reverse.
Yeah, I mean, they see a target, they dive on them, they kill them.
Yeah, pretty much. Whereas Navi needs to, I don't know, Nico needs to go fucking ham in the fight, right? For anything to happen. It feels like it's all on his shoulders. And
Yeah, I mean,
this is, you kill Eki, right? But look where he died. He died at the tier 2, right?
On your doorstep.
Yeah, so you're gonna kill him there, but I don't know. AVULUS controls so much of the map where and Lycan and DK can just farm all of it. That's the main issue for Navi during these 2 games. I feel like is that their lanes are getting pushed in and they cannot get out of the map and, you know, and take back their areas effectively.
It's like the AVULUS algorithm is too strong. Something procedurally, they just feel better. Dragon Knight trying to make a swift escape. A bit of distance made here as he gets hexed up by the Shadow Shaman. A bit of protection as they turn back. Oh, that damage onto the Timbersaw. They shred PMA, and now the chase is on. Something that AVULUS love doing. Hunting and chasing. The pack is in action. Got the juices on the run. The damage from these crits out of Lycan seemed too much, though.
Yeah.
Reddy's dies to a neutral creep elsewhere on the map as I see Stormstormer going diving the Torment area. But it's the Phantom Assassin who has been completely zoned down to this bottom right-hand corner, about to die to the Dragon and the Wolf.
It's also ridiculous to have a like this early of a Dominator, Overlord. Sorry, and they
They have a Dragon.
They go on the DK just at the perfect time for Sibir, right? He just picked up the Helm of the Overlord, he farmed the Ancient efficiently, walked over, and then they dived the DK, right? So it's like perfect for him.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, this procedure of AVULUS where it was dead even game, a 1k lead, now a 6k lead. A good move here from NAVI Jr. though to strike back and kill the Ember Spirit and the Egg. A double kill for Zayat and a roll to find a third kill here onto Eki. Is it a triple? Zayat picks up all three. Blink money, baby.
Big triple kill for Zayat there.
And just as we praise AVULUS, NAVI Jr. the ones that will show they've got a beef. Tipping Stormstormer again. I mean, Niku's really trying to play into this all chat wheel business.
I wouldn't be too confident on AVULUS. Like, they can easily throw this game. And I think the dynamic of the way the fights are gonna go could change if Lion gets a Blink Dagger, if PA gets a BKB, you know, if Timbersaw gets Aghanims. These type of items that makes them able to both initiate and survive the first initiation from AVULUS.
Even just having the surprise factor.
And now you're only 2k down, right?
Yeah. That's not all that bad. Eyeing up a Dragon Knight top with a ward right in front of the tower. But Smiling Knight's already run. Reddy's dead to Stormstormer. Immediately respawns. Yeah, this all kind of started with Zibe chasing the Undying bottom, pushing wave into tier 2, and now diving with Eki behind tier 2 onto a Phantom Assassin who's completely exposed. In comes the Whirling Death Chakram, though, to try and blow up the Shadow Shaman. Bit of damage out of the Serpent Wards and the Lycan Summons almost brings down Riddy's a second time in a row. But AVULUS looks like they're content killing off the PA and giving 2 supports for it in the end. Or maybe not. Maybe they're not happy with it. Stormstormer's hungry for more. He wants to get involved. In we go on to Niku, but a roll away is safe for him, while the Timbersaw chains in aggressively, met by the Dragon Knight. Smiling Knight shows up. Now Niku's in trouble, dived upon, gets back to tier 4s, barely survives. Lion will not have the same luxury, though, as Zayat is sliced down inside of his own base. Chaotic fights. Navi Jr. thought maybe they could punch back, but AVULUS again bring the numbers.
Yeah, the fight started off with the bait a little bit on the dragon there. The dragon went and cut the wave, and then like intentionally the shaman and Lycan were ready on the high ground. So pretty nice
that's why
play.
the PA was there.
Yeah. Very nice play by them. But it just look how AVULUS are positioned on the map. It reminds me exactly of last game, right? Where they had the triangle area and Navi Jr. were just kind of stuck, not really being able to leave the base. It's the same thing here. Last game it was the Bat Rider Lasso with the Chen army and the Earth Spirit. This game is just the Ember Spirits and the 2 supports controlling all of Navi Luna's lineup.
Yeah, like if we had a heat map for Stormstormer, it would be mid lane, right? With like Eki, Suneko, and Stormstormer are just mid lane enemy ancients is their heat map.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really hard for Navi Jr. to kick them out. They have to commit all their heroes.
Dire's bottom tower.
If you commit all your heroes there, well, you might get one Eki kill or something like that, but then you're not farming on your heroes, right? You're gonna fall behind.
And then you've got to go for sneaky plays like this.
Yeah, this might actually work.
I don't know, man. Look at bot lane. You're going for Roshan.
True.
Your bot lane's dying.
That's a bit rough.
I think AVULUS knows what's going on.
You have to commit here to the Roche, right? You cannot go back now.
You started it.
You can't even fight this anyways. Like, you might as well just give up the Rex.
Yeah, it's one of those you made your bed, now sleep in it situations. And AVULUS right now are kind of like, where are? They must be in Roshan. I can finish off these buildings. Aegis for the Phantom Assassin. No BKB yet, but Niku's going to start this with a roll on the Dragon Knight. Earth Spike, connecting some chain disables onto Smiling Knight, but he turns with big damage onto Niku's Earth Spirit. Brings him down while Stormstormer goes deep. Remnant and the shapeshift of the wolf move forward, zoning the back into Fountain. And Lion there had a quarter of his health, gets one-tapped by the dragon. AVULUS sweep through a lane of barracks, 2 kills, and now a second lane's opening up to them.
Yeah. It's
AVULUS.
very hard. I think also something we didn't mention much, at least, is the Shaman wards just killing the Tombstone in the fight.
Oh, can they just instantly do it?
Not instantly, but you know, pretty convincing. I think they need like maybe if
2
they're
rounds of
all
attacks or something?
yeah, something like that. And I think that you know, you might not have all the wards right next to the tomb, but it just kills them very effectively. The smoke on Zippe.
Oh, they want it so bad. Riddy's dead, but yeah, Zippe, if they can kill him, this is a massive, massive takedown. You gotta look back at your base, though.
It's not snowballing off of this.
Chasing this Phoenix, getting a second kill.
And a dragon.
And then a dragon. What is it, 250 gold? And then a tier 1 tower. Got the juices getting hungry. In the base, though, Stormstormer is in on top of your Earth Spirit. Chaining him up under the Serpent Wards. Him and Eki have done the job. PMA's Timbersaw going to try and finish off the Shadow Shaman, which he will. While Ember Spirit remnanting away back towards his Dragon Knight. Connecting with Smiling Knight, who's just slain the Lion in the mid lane with the help of his BKB. Got the juice. I think they know there are no remnants here for Stormstormer, so if they can catch him, they can kill him. You've got to see him first. I have no vision. Well, another little weaseling of themselves out of a tough situation. Navi Jr. have a second wind, potentially. This Aegis on PA gives them another chance.
Yeah, potentially. They still need to finish off those last items on the other cores, right? Timbersaw, need BKB and Earth Spirit. It's still so hard to fight for now.
Yeah, this Earth Spirit's pretty sad. Shadow Shaman and Phoenix can have the same net worth as him soon. I mean, what is he? 1,200 away from BKB on Niku?
Yeah.
He's got some farming to do. But this is where, I guess in a couple of hundred gold, Seneko usually buys a gem around now and says, screw your map, screw your vision.
Yeah, he's
take
probably
full
thinking
control.
about it. That's the 700 gold, so it's that territory, right? It would make sense.
Navi Jr. just got to think about how we play through the PA. A minute left on Aegis. And potentially they get a fight around that top tier 3 with Aegis still in hand, but it looks like Navi Jr. is going to try and use the remnants of it to keep farming. Get her towards the Manta style. You're going to be losing Niku shortly. Up in that top lane as Stormstormer cuts him off at the pass. And the Undying, the bonus kill here for AVULUS. A real incisive move there, cutting across the map to get the backstab. Navi Jr. trying to fight back in their base here, wanting to use Defender's advantage with buybacks available, turning on the egg, got the juice tries with his first life, but the Supernova is still going to land, refreshing Seneko.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, Riddy's obliterated by the Dragon Knight. Phantom Assassin now stunned and stuck, hexed up, can't move, can't run, can't hide. And Eki says it better than I ever could. You're not going anywhere. Everybody dead. Navi Jr., Call GG, and AVULUS. Your first qualified team for DreamLeague Season 25. One of the first slots straight away, and a couple of 2-0 victories here in the upper bracket.
Yeah, I mean, they just look very strong, right? But like, completely destroyed all their games.